Good afternoon, everybody. It's been a while since we've been on the Couch Crunch podcast. Been diving into some Elden Ring for a long time now. I've been 4 weeks straight. I think it's like 148 hours that I put into the game. It's a fantastic game, but on today's episode, we're actually just going to be going into just reviewing the game. Any thoughts on how the game has been for us the last couple of weeks? I actually have my co-host Don, and let's get into it.
Yeah, we're just gonna do a quick review on this, go over the story a little bit, how we feel about it, the beginning of Elden Ring, and the whereabouts of where we're at now with the game.
Yeah. So I guess we can kind of talk about how the game when it first came out. Like, what was your thoughts on it? I'm assuming, like, what did you first think about it when it first dropped for you, Don?
Right. The first hearing of it, I believe it was around 2019 when first release of the truck. Well, it's like a semi trailer. It's like a little peek preview of it, and it was around the time where I first got into From Software with Sekiro, and I was like, oh, so once I finished Sekiro, I was like, oh, so this is something I'm anticipating next. Now that I'm a newly fan of the From Software series, and I was like really anticipating it throughout the last couple years when we kept getting little peeks of the game here and there throughout the years, and now that it dropped, it took us for a storm and took my life.
I had to say the same thing. When it first came out for me, I mean, it was a little hard to kind of get back into the same mechanics because I took a break from, I think the last From Software game that I actually owned was Sekiro. And, I was just trying to not mentally prepare myself, but I was just trying to beat that game. I actually didn't get a chance to fully finish Sekiro, but it was, I took a break for a long time. So diving back into this, this was one of the most anticipated games of 2022. Has to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have to sit there. Since I already beat the game, I have to clearly say, like, this game is definitely going to win Game of the Year, in my opinion. I know, Don, you didn't get a chance to like finish it just yet, but hands down, this is going to be the one, definitely, to take home another award like Sekiro. But
Oh, sure.
it was very difficult just diving back into the game, though. I got to tell you, the first boss, the Tree Sentinel, man, that motherfucker. You know what I mean, man? Like, it was just, it was like I knew what was coming, but I didn't anticipate how difficult this game was going to be in comparison to, like, Dark Souls 3, because Dark Souls 3 it was hard, but it wasn't like how this one was, man. This one was kind of like a fuck you, like, just coming straight out the gates. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if the Tree Sentinel was like a monumental push, a push to tell the newcomers to, like, yo, this is where you're coming into. If you can't get past this Tree Sentinel, then you're in for a rough road for the rest of the game, because this is just a sample of what the game has to offer. So
I was stuck on him for the longest. Just
yeah,
just starting, man. Like, it was just already like, oh damn. And I don't know, man. It was really difficult just diving, just trying to, like, grasp, like, the mechanics again. Like, because I said, when you take a long break from Software, it's like workouts for, like, gamers. You know what I mean? Like, it's just you have to be really prepared for what you're getting yourself into, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. So, but definitely it was good in the beginning. The game got harder as, I progressed through the story. Obviously, that's gonna happen, but yeah, I mean, this game really drove me to the brinks of insanity. Have to be. How about you, Don?
oh yeah, for sure. That it would really test your anger control and your your stress levels, like, for sure. And I wouldn't suggest if you have anger problems to get into these kind of games, but do it at your own discretion. So
Yeah.
you'll be warned.
I feel like they should be having like a warning sign right before the game comes on, like, yo, if you got anger problems, don't play this game, like, for sure, like, because
Yeah.
you will put a hole in your wall. You'll break your controller. I've seen already a lot of rage compilations on some of the bosses, and as funny as they are, I feel their pain because I went through it.
Oh yeah, no, as you do, well, every time a From Software game drops, you'll see a Ridge compilation within a month because you're just gonna see a Twitch streamer or a YouTuber. They got themselves recorded, so whatever their natural reactions to the game is going to be, it's going to be put into a compilation and
Right.
display.
And for I mean, I liked it that they added Tyrant, the horse, on into the game. It was a good addition. I mean, it did get me out of some tight situations with bosses, because I think, it's actually a lot easier with certain bosses to kind of hop on the horse and just kind of taking some, hits on the legs or the shins. So I mean, it played a big part in the game, but I don't know. It wasn't I don't know. It's like I was expecting, like, I don't know, more from the horse. I mean, I think what mostly finds me I find annoying is that why does the horse have like its own separate bar? You know what I mean? When you get hit, like, it just instantly dies sometimes, and it's annoying. I gotta tell you, the frustrating is when you get knocked off that horse, man.
Oh man, the time it takes him to get up, it's aggravating to say the least.
Yeah,
I've been killed so many times, especially when it's another horseman fight.
right.
They did incorporate it somewhat within some bosses, but it's mostly side bosses you fight the horse on for the most part throughout the game. But yeah, the horse is mainly used for getting around, since it's like the first open world game from Software that they're doing now.
Right.
Yeah, the horse does come in handy at some points, but at some points it kind of
It doesn't do the job. Yeah.
yeah. So you got to pick and choose your battles with the horse. So be careful on that.
All right. But also, it's like, from just playing the game as well, as far as the story goes, I beat the game, and I know most people would be like, well, how did you play the game and you don't understand the story? Because, like, most of the From Software games, like, you have to really pay attention to the dialogue, and I know you're supposed to do that, but I'm one of those players that sometimes I skip it, sometimes I kind of listen to certain NPCs. But I mean, I'm one of those guys that kind of want the story to kind of be laid out in front of me. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, I know these are definitely not one of those games, but it's just like, it will be an endless trip to trying to figure out like how the events took place. I mean, I looked up the storyline, just because I know once I beat it, I was like, I'm not doing another playthrough. Some people would be like, you're insane. You need to get like a New Game Plus in there. I was like, I just don't want to go through the frustration of just like going through all that bullshit again. I don't think it's worth it. I've seen all the 6 endings. I think there was a 7th ending investigation. I'm not sure. They're really not worth it. I mean, it's cool, but in my opinion, they're not worth it. I think once you get through the first game through, like the gameplay, your first walkthrough, you can go back and do some side quests that, the ones that you can still do after end game. But the problem is, a lot of the other quests are before you even deal with like certain bosses, which I always found frustrating in the From Software games, because I know they want you to do it at a specific pattern, but sometimes people are not going to follow that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, by random. I guess it all depends on what kind of player you are. Some people like to go into new game with like another class and try out that class with different set of weapons and powers. Right. So I guess it all depends what kind of player you are. Some people just want to do it in one shot.
Right.
It all depends,
Yeah.
Either way, how much you like the game.
But
if you just want to get one taste of it, then you just go in for one lick, and that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, I still really don't understand like the concept of the game. All I know is like the main focus is obviously let's become the Elden Lord because that's like majority of their games. Like we always have to be some lord or some shit, and I mean that's fine. Um, you know, when you're going through the bullshit, like when you keep dying and shit, you. I don't know. I'm just one of those people that just think like, but why us? Why can't we just? Why can't we be one of those other people and just like sit there? Can we be a merchant? Like, I know most people are like, but what's the fun in that? Like, we love dying, we love doing some crazy shit, and it's like, right, but sometimes I don't know, man. You gotta ask yourself when you're going through, it's like, is it worth going through this frustration? You know what I mean?
Yeah, unfortunately, we know where we're getting ourselves into. We're like, I would call us like us two specifically like semi-veterans because they give you a quick summary what the ones we went through is like.
All
We
right,
went through Sekiro, Bloodborne,
Dark Souls, yeah.
the Dark Souls 3, somewhat Dark Souls 1 a little bit. We didn't really finish Dark Souls 1.
Nah, it's really hard.
Specifically, he beat Demon Souls, right?
Yeah, I beat Demon Souls. Yeah, that was one that fucking blew my like brains off because it was just like it was so difficult. Most people probably would have thought like Demon Souls wasn't that really difficult, but I mean, if I had my friend Ramir on the show, he can definitely back up that statement because like it was difficult, but yeah, I beat that one for sure.
Yeah. So we definitely got our experience with From
All right.
Software games under our belt a little somewhat. So with this one, well, with the story, from what I gathered, basically Queen Makara, I'm not sure.
Makara, I don't know how to really say it. Yeah.
Yeah, but basically she's like the main one. Of the altar is the current ruler of the lands between. This is like the beginning of the story, and she was the one who shattered the Elden Ring. She has many powers of demigod offsprings
All
who
right.
seek out the remainings of the ring's power, and
Yeah.
Radongon of the Golden Order.
Oh, Radigan. That's what they yeah, that's how you pronounce it correctly. Yeah, Radigan.
Yeah, Redigan of the Golden Order.
Yep.
The other half of Queen Makara, whatever.
Yeah, they didn't really explain. They didn't really explain too much on. They didn't really explain on how they fuse and like because they're actually the same person. You just have to really pay attention when you get to the last boss. Um, yeah, again, no spoilers. If spoilers free, if just you've been warned. Um,
Yeah,
when you
they're two halves of each other.
yeah, when you first encounter the last boss, you can see Michaela. You can see her hair, but it turns red. So that's Radigan actually. So they both share the same body, but we don't know how exactly that they fuse with each other. So that's interesting.
Yeah, and Redican, he's the one who shattered the ring to begin with a hammer.
All right.
So her offsprings are trying to get the remaining powers of the ring, and us the tarnished, they call us tarnished in the game throughout the whole game. I believe I pretty much gathered that tarnished is like human mortal people of this world. So us tarnished was given this opportunity to gather each of these demigods to destroy them and become the Elden Lord pretty much.
All right.
Take the the crown.
I always
Michaela, she's trapped inside this dark realm, and after she gets into this fight with Radon.
I always thought every time I died from Margaret to be specific, every time because he was like, "You're not worthy, tarnish" or some shit. I always took it as like a disrespect. I was like, "Wait, what did you say to me?" You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because it's just like a spit on our species. But yeah, I never understood what does tarnish mean. All I know is that they did everything, and when I mean everything, they did everything in their power to prevent us from becoming Elden Lord because apparently we're not worthy enough. But we proved them wrong, obviously, because we defeated them. So that's cool.
Yeah. Go through the hardships of fighting those demigods. Man. Yeah, the Tarnish. And this game is spoken of as like something to be proud of, kind of other mortals, other characters throughout the game that you bump into.
All right.
But it's when you just hear it, it just sounds disrespectful. Whenever the demigods do that, you step into
it just sounds like they're just mocking us, because at the end of the day, when we keep dying from the same fucker, they just keep saying the same thing over and over again. So it's like every time they're like mocking me in a way. I don't know. it would frustrate the fuck out of me, dude.
Yeah. So however you take the word turn, it's just like you take it either with pride or disrespect, whatever you're stepping into.
But like I said, man, I mean, I still don't understand the storyline, but it's overall, man, it's a great game. I definitely recommend it if you definitely never got into a From Software game. Just, you've been warned. You will get your ass kicked through the front door, because the very first steps that you take, you have to fight a spider boss. No spoilers. But good luck with that. I hope you defeat him. If you don't, it's okay, because later on in the game you can come back and whip his ass. But it's a very large game. Very, very large game. This has have to be one of the biggest map games in From Software list for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, when I first opened up the map, I was like, oh my god, it just keeps going. And even I see like a bunch of YouTubers that I've personally follow, that the side quests are just endless. That's why I was just like, some of them are rewarding with talismans and items that we can use to, that we want, and they're very valuable to us. But sometimes, man, I don't know, there's just like too much. And again, like, you have to do it at a specific time. That's the part that frustrates me beyond anything, because I can't stand that. I understand like they want us to do that, but again, there's no indicator of us saying, hey, you got to do this quest. Like, at least like if they had like a category of side quest, like if you open up your menu and you can see like all the side quests, at least that'll give us an indication like, okay, I have to do this before this. That would have been better. See, that there's no indication whatsoever. And that's the thing that frustrates a lot of people like me, myself. So, I think that would be a lot better for people, because again, they don't tell you to do anything. You're your own direction. You know what I mean? Like, you're your fucking own GPS. Like, you go wherever the fuck you want, and you go at your own pace. That's cool and all, but I don't know. I would like to be shown these things before that, because they do that so that way that you can keep replaying it each time. But again, I'm not one of those people that are going to exhaust that,
Yeah, it just all depends on how you want to play it, of course.
Right.
That brings to the replay value of the game. So I can't knock them on that. They have their ways of bringing people back to their game over and over. And they got all kinds of, From Software, they got all kinds of hidden things throughout the game with the visible walls, or even like hitting a bush and you'll find a character inside a jar or a bush or whatever it could be. And it might spring off into a quest or...
Yeah, like I said, that's cool and all, but I don't know. It could be frustrating. But what was the... I guess we can go in an order. I know you didn't get a chance to finish the game just yet, but we can go ahead. Yeah, but we can go ahead and make up a list. Like, what do you think is the hardest bosses in your list, your small list?
I would say starting with... Oh man,
there's so many, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to run through my mind as we speak. Is like, okay. Well, Godfrey. Let's see. Yeah, was he?
Is it Godric? Godric. I think it was Godric. Yeah.
Godric. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I say he is like starting as my lowest. Yeah, Godric, and then I'll put the almond of, what's his name?
Margaret.
Oh, Margaret.
Yeah, because you fight this fucker like 3 times, man, in this game. 3 times, because the third time is actually like a hidden area. Well, it's not really hidden. It's actually like up in the nearby, like the Golden City where the tree is at. You know, again, no spoiler. I mean, you've been warned. Um, but yeah, it's just like he's a hidden. Like once you find a regular person that's just standing random still, and you just bump into him, he just magically turns into Margaret. Like I was just like, when I first found that, I was like, 3 fucking times did they use this man? 3 times. That's never happened in a From Software game, in my opinion. From what I've seen, I didn't see the same boss 3 times. I don't know. And if it has, like, I would just, it wouldn't change anything because I would just be frustrated.
Yeah, I don't really count the second time because that's like optional, but the 2 times are actually part of the story.
Yeah.
Pretty much, Margaret is pretty much the guardian of the tree.
Yeah, he is. Yep.
But anybody to go past the golden tree. So.
Yep. He was doing his job. That's what he was. He was just doing his job.
Yeah. Making sure no tarnish gets passed, and he damn sure. I tell you.
I was just about to say that. I was like, he damn sure did a great job at it, though.
Man, that hammer. Oh man, and oh god, the worst part is the stick.
Oh man.
Times that stick has gotten me off the cliff.
That's crazy.
Or across the field of the map, but that dude right there. Yeah, Margaret is a wrecking. If you get past the first boss with no problem, he will make sure you up front.
Yeah.
Tell you where you're getting yourself into from there on, because the bosses are just keep coming.
Yeah, a little bit of advice too. Like, definitely make sure you level up enough when you first encounter him, because, like I said, don't be one of us where, you know, since we're veterans, we think we can run the show. Even us, man, we get trashed. You know what I mean? Like, and that's because, like, the smarter route is to obviously, like, level up as much as possible. No, you don't need to one-shot them. You know what I mean? Let's get that cleared up now. No, you don't need to one-shot them. You don't need to take chunks. If that's up to you, ultimately, whatever you want. But honestly, I just want a fair fight. They're still going to one-shot you because they still got attacks that can go ahead and fuck you up still. But I just personally want a fair enough fight where I'm taking a good amount of damage. But I didn't personally did that, so that's why I end up getting fucked up by him like 101 times. And then I had to redo it 2 more times because I've been helping my friend and Don here. So
yeah, with these kind of games, you can't just jump into boss to boss. You have to within the boss is at, because that's why the boss is in that area. They want you to go out throughout that one level to level up, and, you know, higher your weapons and your skill sets, your powers, whatever your classes, and that, you do all that so you can prepare for the boss.
And that was my biggest, and
the area and go straight to the boss because you're just gonna get your ass whooped.
And that was my biggest problem, is that I just kept hopping to boss to boss to boss, and what did that accomplish? Nothing. You know what I mean? So I actually had to sit back and actually farm for 3 days straight, about 12 hours. You know, did I have a life? No. But, you know, it was worth it in the end. You know what I mean? 3 hours, you know, 12 hours, 12 to 13. So it was crazy. But no, go ahead. You besides Margaret, what else can you say, like, the hardest boss in your opinion?
Next up would be Radahn.
Oh, Radahn. I gotta be honest, man. He definitely, like, I just was squeezing the shit out of my controller because, again, I do have anger issues as well. But that motherfucker, man, like, and the fact that what bothers me is that, yes, you do have 7 summonings that are supposed to assist you in battle, but they die like almost like 5 seconds every time he swings the sword. So it's like pretty much worthless. All I did was, man, I hopped on my horse and just kept shooting him with bows. I had talismans to help me out, and take an extra damage, but it damn sure took me about 2 to 3 days with him as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't per se call them useless because if you use them the right way, you could probably get them to distract them for you and get a couple hits in.
Right.
But if you just just spawn them in and then let them run up in there, yeah, they're gonna get swiped out real quick. But you just gotta do it the right way to keep them distracted, but also hit them, whatever your play style is. But yeah, I still even see people try to, run up there and just like, I don't even need the summonings. I'm just gonna go in there raw. And some people do it, but I needed those summonings, so I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing we forgot to mention too. And this one specifically, Elden Ring, I mean, a lot of people complain about it, having an easy mode or whatever, but they kind of did by giving us like the ability to summon ashes and like having
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah.
a lot of benefits in this one.
Yeah, you can find. Yeah, you can. It's super easy to invite a friend in there. Now, the only challenging thing is that now I've been facing this with my friend Ramir, with being able to find the summonings in specific areas. Like I thought that this didn't apply when you put on the password. You know what I mean? Because usually it's just like it depends on what the area is. Sometimes they want you to explore the area by yourself, which is understandable. If you're going to a boss battle, that's fine. But it's just certain graces that we're just trying to show each other, specific areas where to get loot, a new area. It's kind of frustrating because sometimes you can't see the summoning sign, and that could be frustrating. So I don't know if it's something that they need to fix. Another update. They only came out with 2 updates apparently from what I've seen since the game came out. The game is still fucking up because I'm still getting signed out. I don't know if anybody else has been having any technical issues, but that's something they need to definitely fix still in the game.
Oh yeah, as of this recording, it's been like 2 or 3 patches so far.
Yeah,
so it's kind of working out the kinks.
It's still not.
The games nowadays, when it first released, they got a lot of patches because some things they might miss in development,
Right?
Or whatever it could be.
It still hasn't done much though with those 3 or 4 patches. So I know they're still working on it. So give them time. Hopefully we can get this shit situated. But because I was gonna say Dark Souls was updating for fucking probably a minute before they got their shit together. So I mean, the game's only been out for I want to not a month because it would be a month. Did it come out the 28th? Right, I think.
I believe the 25th.
The 25th. So it'll be a month about 2 days from now. So that's yeah.
So I believe like sometimes when you as far as like summoning friends online in the story, I believe like some places are locked. Like you might have like a visible wall because you probably have to explore it yourself and unlock more of that map.
All right.
That's the reason why, for that specific reason. But the main problem we're having is like sometimes we try to spawn somebody online, and sometimes the summoning mark it might glitch out. You'll see the person's name, or it might not even spawn at all.
Right.
You have to go back to the grace and then go back out, and it's a little issue they had to fix.
Yeah, for sure. All right, but was there anything else besides fucking Radahn, his piece of shit?
After Radahn, and that comes to where I'm currently at. It is his exact name.
I can't pronounce it either. It's the guardian of the. He walks on all 4s, and I can't think of his name. Michaela. I don't know how to pronounce it. He's a dog wolf thing, and
he's a wolf kind of dude.
Yeah, this motherfucker is like, I don't know, man. He drove me insane. He's so difficult because his attacks are just like, they are predictable, but you can easily get caught up in them, man. That's the only thing I can tell you.
Yeah, he's a pretty fast character.
Yeah.
Birds and he's his first form. He's like wearing like this monk cloak, and then he takes it off, and then that's when you really get into the battle, and he's jumping all over the place, shooting beams at you, and it's a hassle. I tell you, he's definitely he's bumping heads with Verdun for me right now. And
Yeah.
yeah, I could see him surpassing it if I don't get past them anytime soon.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's where I'm currently at. But yeah, that's at the tail end of the game from what I'm hearing. So I'm at the very end.
Yeah, yeah. You're only 2 bosses behind, and you should finish the game as far as the main bosses goes. Yeah, you pretty much racked them all up.
But yeah, they'll kind of give like another quick boss in there. I wouldn't really say the is this I believe she's a queen. She's the moon.
Oh, Vanilla. Yeah, Vanilla. Yeah.
Yeah. She was a fun fight.
Yeah, she was.
Avatar.
Yeah.
That was a fun fight.
Yeah.
You know?
Another fun fight for me was the snake, the Devour of Serpent God or some shit. The snake guy. That was fun because that takes me back to Dark Souls 3 when we had to fight the giant, the guy, the big guy in the chair. I forgot his name, but it was the same concept. You grab a special weapon before you fight them, and you start wrecking their shit. It's actually fun when they do that. So that was a lot of fun to do again.
Oh yeah,
that was a definitely unique fight, and I liked that a lot. And the deer boss as well, which was that was cool too. I think the ancestral deer, I forgot what it's called, but
yeah, you'll find them in like an underground area.
Yeah.
Another part of the map. This is how massive this game is. It has like different pockets within the map. It's crazy. It's hidden spots everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't fully explore like everything down there. All I know is like I fought one of the dragons, which was also unique as well, and he was like a dark dragon that has like 4 or 5 wings or some shit like that. And he's like right by the tree area, because you can see like the roots that's from the Elden tree. It's crazy. It's crazy how big this game was, man, for sure. Can't wait to see DLC for it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I liked a lot of the bosses' character designs, like that they did very well in this game, especially. Like I usually like a lot of their character designs for their bosses and enemies throughout the From Software roster. But this one specifically, like their characters look so grotesque and some of them look like beautiful but disturbing at the same time. It's very fascinating to witness as you play through the game. And speaking of that underground area, I have to say that's like my favorite setting as far as like the overall game. Like that place is beautiful. Like if you look at the sky under there, it's like all blue and it's like spaced out. It's like you're in outer space, like a galaxy setting, and it's really nice. I like that touch of the new environments they brought to the table in this game, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I fell in love with the tree. I love the tree. It's so beautiful when you first look at it. When you first
both trees throughout the whole game.
Yeah. This game is very based on like tree shit, and then there's a lot of bosses that are kind of like made out of tree shit. But I'm talking about the golden tree. That shit is beautiful, man. I can go ahead and say my list though, for sure. I want to say for number 1, my hardest was Milena, for sure. Yeah, you didn't get a chance to fight her, but definitely that bitch is like, they gave her some ability that some bosses in every Dark Souls game, I mean From Software games, has never had before, as far as to my knowledge. She's cheap. She has an attack that's almost nearly impossible to maneuver or dodge. So watch out, guys. She's definitely, for me, definitely the hardest fucker. Like the hardest boss in the game for me. Next up in line, it's gonna be Radagon. Is the last boss. Him with that little ass hammer. It's little as shit, but let me tell you, when he swings and he charges to you with that fast charge, he be fucking you up with all his might. Like he puts all his might into that right arm, bro. You be catching the shit out that fucking swing. So yeah, it's a little ass hammer, but it's funny as hell how he hits you with that shit. For sure, he's up there. For number 3, it's got to be Radon for me. Yeah, he took me a while to beat. And then next up online, I would have to say the Tree Sentinels, for sure. All of them. I'm not gonna sit there and say a specific one. I mean, the most hardest one out of all of them is the one that's guarding the gate to the tree area. I mean, the Golden City. I forgot what it's called, but the fucker that has like the hammer and he shoots lightning and shit like that, which is bullshit. I think it's absolute bullshit. Why would they give a knight that ability? I didn't like that. And it's
one person I forgot to mention to put in my list. Yeah, definitely him, the one that's guarding to the city.
Yeah.
He was a challenge.
Yeah.
More of a mini boss, but yeah, he's definitely.
Yeah, for a mini boss, yeah, he gives you the run for the money though.
Yeah.
And then I would have to say, the wolf guy, the one we're talking about earlier. Yeah, for sure. He took some time for me as well. And Margaret and Godric. Yeah, I think Margaret comes first because you fight the fucker like 3 times. So, and then Godric was there. Oh, and I'm sorry. I feel like let's back up a thing. I think it'll go the dog first. I keep saying the dog. I don't know his name, but I would give it to him, and then Godfrey.
Okay.
Because Godfrey, you haven't got to. He's protecting. Like he's not protecting, but he's in the same area that you fight Margaret. For the second time, where all the thrones are at, you have to go back into that room.
Right.
He's blocking the way to the tree because he wants to be Elden Lord again. The fucker was already an Elden Lord already. He just was like, look, I retired. I wanted to come back to sit in my chair to reclaim the throne. You're in the way, so we got to fight. That's how he visions it. And let me tell you, he definitely brings the heat. So definitely, because his attacks are so bullshit, bro. Like when he kicks, when he stomps the ground, it's a wave of wind that can hit everybody on the map. You can bring 3 players in there, they all get hit by it. If you're not dodging it at the right times, every time he hits it, he stomps on the ground, it takes so much fucking damage. It's so bullshit. And then he goes into this warrior, like it looks like he's doing kung fu for a second. Like this man says fuck he takes off the back, like because he has like this lion ghost thing on his back, so he takes that shit off. He's like, hold on. He goes in his second phase, and now my man is like about to grab your shit, like he's just gonna grab your face and just tear it open with his bare hands. Like he's fighting you with his bare hands. Like there's no weapon, there's no attacks, there's no mace, there's no sword. His bare hands. My dude is like, he's crazy for that one.
Yeah, and they give you a taste at first because you see like a spiritual form of him.
Yeah. Which is the same, which is the same format when you fight him in person, like for the second time. That's his first phase, but then obviously you're gonna get the real experience with the real fight. So yeah, we have to give it to him, and then the Tree Sentinels, and I think that's about it. I don't think I have actually had any troubles with anything else besides Godric and Margaret. Because Vanilla wasn't that difficult. I died a few times on her, but she wasn't that hard for me. And the Snake Lord guy, he's cool. I don't even think he's mandatory. We're forgetting somebody. Mung. Yeah, Mung, yo.
Yeah, he's another boss that you fight like twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
The almond. He's another almond child, just like Margaret is. And yeah, he's like an underlord of the blood.
Yeah, Lord of the Blood, yeah.
Lord of the Blood, yeah. Yeah, he draws his pure blood on you and it turns into fire, casually, and he just fucking hits you with the pitchfork and he just throws you across the field.
Yeah, we're forgetting Mark. We forgot good old Mong.
Oh yeah, how can I forget Mom?
Yeah. We were stuck. I was stuck on him for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it though for me. I mean, all the unique side bosses that I thought was cool. I mean, the tree stomps are cool, but another annoyance that I would say is the fucking worm dragon thing. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, you'll see a couple of those across the
Yeah, there's like several of those things, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like to describe it, it's like this weird looking mutated worm looking thing and it has like this mouth and it can swallow you and breathe out fire and it's
Yeah.
chaotic and it just squirms everywhere. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, but I think like as far as like the unique of like the unique side bosses, I mean, there's not too many that I personally ran into. I did miss a lot. I mean, there's a lot of fucking dragons. I gotta tell you that there's so many dragons. I personally think what's cool is that you get the dragon powers and you go on that dragon island and stuff like that. That's cool. But
there's a reason why there's so many dragons.
Yeah.
Because the writer actually of Game of Thrones is the writer on this Elden Ring, so that's the reason why it's so many dragons. Because of course,
but you don't have to throw that many into the fucking game. Like I think a few is fine, but
yeah, throughout this whole game, you'll see so many different variations of dragons.
Yeah, because mind you, they've always had some sort of form of dragon. They will look weird as shit because the one in Dark Souls, they don't look like dragons. Dark Souls 3, to be specific, they don't look like dragons. They look like fucking like iguanas. Like they look like fucking lizards and shit.
Yeah, they look some kind of mutation.
Yeah, they don't look like fucking dragons. But in this one, it was just like the dragons are fucking annoying. Like you be trying to go somewhere, they're always blocking some fucking path, or they randomly, like when you're walking somewhere, they randomly just pop up in your face, and it's like, oh god. And they're not too hard. You just have to time their attacks. They're not hard. They're not super hard. But they
the ones you bump into.
But they're still dragons, so of course, with From Software games, the dragons have to be like 10 times, like 12 or 20 times stronger than you. So they one attack can just fuck you, like just instant kill you, and I fucking hate that so much. But
I love the visuals though. The dragons, like some of them come in swooping in from the sky and they crash down into the ground and then jump into battle. It's crazy. I like the cinematic of the dragon fights for sure throughout the game. Yeah, I still haven't bumped into all of them. It's so many catacombs and caves.
Oh my god, they're endless, man. They're endless. But I think that's cool because I mean they've always had the catacombs in a lot of their games. Like Demon Souls, they had them in there. I think they've always added some form of caves and catacombs. Like they always kind of recycle some of the same things most of the time. I think what was different about this one was the castle area. I would say like the tree area, which is different. That's cool because I really love the atmosphere of the tree. I can't get over that. Like just everything about it, like the story to the tree, how the tree leaves are falling, just due to the war and stuff. I don't know, just everything about the tree. I love it so much.
Yeah, that's a beautiful visual too. It's very tree centric. Like this game is based around trees.
Yep.
Well, a lot of the enemies have elements of tree and whatever. Also,
as far as classes go, I'm not gonna sit here and say what's the best. I mean, most people would say mages. Mage is cool. Um, Obviously they have like abilities to one shot fucking bosses if you're strong enough and you got the right spells and the right equipment. But I mean, they're flawed. I mean, yeah, like they have like their spells when they do like specifically with Cosmic Azar. I forgot how you say it, like that one blast spell. It's like if you don't time that shit right and you fucking miss the boss, you're dead. Like that's simple as that. Like
Yep.
so the
Or you
samurai
try
the
to
samurai's cool. I don't got too much to say about the samurai because I didn't really get a chance to really play with him. I played with the warrior. The warrior was cool. Starting out, he has the battle axe. Um, I don't know too much about his stats, but I mean, he had some cool features. Apparently, he like the build up for poison wasn't that high compared to your guys' classes. Like, remember that? Like when we were going through that one area, um,
Oh
in the
yeah.
catacombs. Like, I remember you guys would get poisoned so fast, and the build up for me was like going slow. So I guess for poison, like for certain classes, they just have like different build ups, like times.
Yeah, that's the benefit, I guess, being a
Yeah,
warrior. You can withstand the poison because you know throughout from software games there'll be like a land of poison you have to go through, and you have to run or roll through it so you
right.
don't get poisoned. Your poison bar doesn't fill up in time, so that's a benefit. Yeah, me being a samurai, you know, that's a I believe that's a new class. That and the prisoner, that those are like two unique new classes that I see in from Elden Ring, as far as classes go. Yeah, I played it as a samurai. Yeah, the katanas are pretty cool throughout the game. It's you'll find many, and it seemed like they kind of took elements from Sekiro actually, because there's this one blade called it's the blood. It's this blood blade, and it shoots out blood as you slash through the air quickly, and it's pretty cool. And they have other elemental blades that are attached to the katana, and yeah, yeah, yeah. That samurai is pretty cool as a class. It's similar to like a warrior or a
Yeah.
knight.
As far as any other classes, again, I didn't get a chance to really browse through them too much because I was like, oh shit, I see the warrior, boom, like I liked him, and then I made another character which is mage, but I don't feel like working too much on him. I'm just too lazy. Um, but every class is unique in their own certain ways. They get certain items that other classes have to work hard to get towards the end of the game for, which is they've always done that. Some classes benefit more than others. So again, I think like as far as they brought a lot more choices into this one than I want to say like more. I don't know too much about like all the rest of the other Souls games on how many classes they can be, but um, they definitely brought a lot of good, like a wide range of selections, and it would definitely they did good with that. So,
Yeah, it
um,
seems to be the most out of.
yeah, yeah. But as far as this game goes, man, for sure, like I want to say, like the anticipation, the wait for every ounce of content of this game, it was worth it, in my opinion. Because
For
I don't
sure.
know. It's just like the game is great. The game, you'll fall in love with it. One day you'll go from just playing it for a few hours, then playing it from a few hours to every single day. I did not miss not one day. It has like some sort of gravitation, like like you just can't stop playing it. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yep.
once you're in there and you start farming or you start beating bosses, you start progressing throughout the game, you start leveling up, you start getting cool powers, incantations, spells, weapons, armor, all of it. You just can't stop until you finish the game, So that's just my honest opinion on that.
Yeah, you have a love-hate relationship with this game for sure. One
Yeah.
day you'll get up hating this game, and the next day you'll be like, "Oh, I love this," but I
Right.
just
You talk. If you're like me, this talks mad shit. All like I fucking hate this game. I don't understand why I still play this shit. Or I'm gonna delete it. I'm just gonna stop playing it. I still find myself back to it. I don't know why. It just had to. I felt like I haven't had control of my life in the last month. it's it's that bad. Like it was that bad for me. But once you beat it, you regain everything back, and it felt good to just be like, you know what? Let me go play another game for a change, and it felt fucking great.
you get your sanity for once.
Yeah, for sure. Um,
But,
but I
but
mean,
I wanted to say,
go ahead.
I forgot to mention in the beginning of this review, the game first actually developed in 2017 alongside Sekiro. It
Oh
was
yeah.
following the yeah, which I thought was interesting because it was following the release of Ring City. It was a DLC for Dark Souls 3. Now the name Ring City kind of alludes to Elden Ring. I thought that was interesting looking into that because it was like a rough idea of that DLC within Dark Souls 3 that it sprung from that to an actual game, which I
Oh
thought was
yeah.
interesting.
I didn't have any. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a DLC on Dark Souls 3 called Ring City. I was like, oh, okay.
I
Oh,
I
how
like
about
I like some of the Easter eggs I actually seen like on YouTube. Like I remember obviously Guts sword, the great sword. That's a
yeah,
Easter egg of it. The little calling things that you can kind of get in the game where you can kind of like breathe into it and it says hello in a deeper in a weird voice. Um those are like these pill things that have like multiple mouths and Berserk. That's pretty interesting. Obviously, the sword that you get from like the fighting a lion, since obviously the writer from Game of Thrones it was involved in making this game. They had to do something special for him, so they made like that sword that has like a bunch of swords and shit that looks like the chair from Game of Thrones. That's cool.
yeah,
The armor that you get from the dog guy, it looks just like Guts. It looks
it,
yeah,
dog armor.
yeah, it looks like Guts armor from Berserk. That looks cool too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Easter eggs that resembles this game, and I didn't know it went that far back though. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. And even outside of Elden Ring, like other from software games have elements of Berserk because the creator himself, the director, he's a fan of Berserk, the manga. So he's known for putting little Easter eggs here and there throughout his games with those references, which I think is always a good nod, especially in this one since his recent passing of the manga creator. He definitely they went all out on this one by putting the dedication and references in here, which I appreciate because I'm also a fan of Berserk.
Oh yeah, rest in peace, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, yeah, I think that covers most of this review. Definitely. Any other thoughts on what would you like to get out there to the public?
Oh yeah, yeah. This game is awesome. I'm still not finished, but I'm on a tail end. I'm about to be. Yeah. If you're up for a challenge, you got one for this year.
Yeah.
2022. This is your challenge. If you
Yeah.
beat this game, you got all the tools under your belt to do so. But it still give you that run for your money if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
willing to.
And just keep your eyes on the rise, because we definitely will see some type of DLC, but I want to say by the end of the year, at least like a trailer, not a release, but a trailer at least. They got to release some type of DLC for this game. They know that.
Yeah, for sure.
So
It's like a year or two away,
yeah.
but
Now the pricing, I want to say, I'm just gonna go ahead and take an estimate. It has to be around like $20. It has to be.
oh yeah,
So
2030 somewhere
yeah,
around.
because there's gonna be some sort of connection to like I don't know, like a portal that you have to take in the game. Because mind you, they have so many areas that we still can't technically get to, like the Coliseum that's like right by Limgrave and the First Step, because there's like a ghost out there, you can't get in there. There's a lot of spots like out there that we still can't really explore, so they have a lot of openings to do in this game. So let's see where it takes us as far as DLC goes. Yeah, and that concludes all like everything I had to say about it. I just think like this game is definitely going to get Game of the Year. So for 2022, I understand Forspoken's up on the rise. Ghostwire just is about to drop Thursday, but you can get a 3-day early pass if you pre-order it on PS5. But still, like, I don't think there's going to be a lot of competitors. You know, Horizon came out, and I mean, a lot of people did purchase it. A lot of people did play it, but I don't know. When Elden Ring came out, that shit got washed. I want to say, like, it's just like, right.
Yeah. I am anticipating, you know, Final Fantasy 16. I'm not sure if it's still coming out this year, but I could see that being a competitor.
Yeah.
That was really well done.
They keep talking about God of War. They keep talking about God of War is supposed to drop in the fall. Like, nope, I don't believe it. Because they would have definitely came out with a specific date. They keep saying, oh, the fall. It's not coming out. All right. And I'm not even mad at it because, again, I'm one of those people, like, if you want to take your time. It's okay. Just because even then, like, even if God of War does come out, it's still not going to come close to Elden Ring. It's not.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. So I'd rather them say, if they're at the Game Awards, I'd rather Kratos just give them he can be standing up clapping for them, and then we'll you know, next year him and Spider-Man will take next year. Fuck it, you know what I mean? So
we shall see.
But yeah, that I think that concludes all the review for this episode. If you definitely like this review on this episode, definitely give a like, a comment. Definitely check out our new channel that we made. It's called Couch Crunch Game Room. Now, why we created this channel is because we kind of want to separate just a podcast show and have specific episodes for the podcast, since that's the channel's name. So for any gaming content, we made this channel. For any game reviews, gameplay walkthroughs, just anything that's gaming content will be on that channel. So definitely give us a like on that, or go subscribe, check us out there. And we could definitely wrap it up right there. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Again, we're sorry for being away for so long. We had a lot of things going on. And we were on Elden Ring for about a month, so
yeah, a big portion of it, Elden Ring took our souls. We're just now regaining them back.
Yep. So we're not we're putting this out there as well, just to let you guys know we're not leaving fully. We're coming back. So definitely hope you guys like this episode, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yep. Peace. Have a good one.